Uncle Owen, this R2 unit has a bad motivator. Hey, what are you trying to push on us? Star Wars.
I actually got that one.
No,
You got that reference?
Yeah, I knew that one.
I actually heard you.
I don't get
By the
it.
way,
I'm putting it in my mouth
Well,
tonight.
that's really close. That's what she said.
Oh!
That's what she said.
We are
Gonna
off
be,
to a
it
terrible
is.
start.
It is the perverted Pilsner. I
Yeah.
think that's what's
Pervy
doing-
pills.
Yeah.
Pervy pills.
What's that what we're going to call it?
I guess
Yeah,
so.
because last week
Yeah.
you was just like...
You
He went
said,
off on one.
you said
Yeah.
dingleberries.
Rod.
Actually, he said semen.
And semen. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's still
I
a pretty good
intentionally
one.
fit that in. Because I saw that you were fully down the
Yeah.
junior high brainwave.
Yeah, you
Before-
can see that.
Before we begin, it's that time. That's right. Everybody sponsor mentioned Scratch Labs. The results are in. Scratch Lab has the best tasting, easiest on the gut hydration option out there. I actually know a guy who is actually using it as we speak for his colonoscopy prep.
What?
Because is it clear? Can you have clear?
What?
Yeah.
Maybe he could consume it.
Yeah.
I bet you
Is
the lemons and limes he could.
Is
Yeah,
he mixing it with
clear.
But
Water?
the polyethylene glycol that
Oh
you can't. It doesn't make you poo.
no,
That's a bad
But
advertisement for Scratch.
No.
Colonoscopy. It's just as good as colonoscopy prep.
No, he's saying maybe to keep him hydrated. Well,
that's probably what I'm
shit
doing.
his brains
Oh,
out.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Strawberries and Cream Recovery is a masterpiece, and it's the cereal, cereal milk, as Sam described it. So get over to ScratchLabs.com today and get started on your road to proper fueling. Mojo Cyclery, and Reynolds Wheels. Wow, my glass is full. It doesn't make the ding anymore. Magic of Reynolds, great wheels. I think we have three of the 5 of us on Reynolds wheels. So obviously we've got believers. The rest of us are on rim brakes. Well, actually, quite a few of us are on rim brakes. Huge thanks to Mojo Cycling for taking care of us. They're Spokane's home for gravel, and they do so much more. Head to mojocyclery.com or check them out at the Spokane Valley at 1405 North Argonne. New sponsor alert. I've got my Huel shirt on. Huel stands for Human Fuel, and that it is. Among their amazing selection of food, I'm currently loving the Black Edition Shake. 40 grams of protein per meal. Super convenient, tasty. I have chocolate. I had it this morning. I seriously did. Made from real ingredients like coconut, sunflower seeds, brown rice, and flax seeds. It's my go-to morning fuel. It equates to $2.50 per meal. Be sure to get to Packfiller. Use the link today, not only to support the show, but grab great tasting, affordable meals. They even have hot meals. I actually doubled down on Huel today. I had a hot meal too. So Huel.com/Packfiller. So there we go. Let's do it. Okay, let's do this. We're late.
Did you have 2 straight Huel meals?
I had the black for breakfast, chocolate flavored black, and then for lunch I had the Cajun pasta. You
heat it up in it.
You put hot
It's kinda
water
like
in it, close the lid for 5 minutes, and wait.
It's like
Like
a
a freeze
camping-
dried. Yeah.
And it's vegan.
I have to ask, how are the poops after that?
They're usually
We're
super high
already
in
starting
fiber.
off pretty
Yeah.
good here.
Yeah, that's hard to say because I don't. My poops are all over the place.
I'm gonna wanna report.
You want to
Because yeah,
sample?
whenever.
I've already eaten an entire bag of their mac and cheese,
Oh, wow.
vegan mac and cheese. For
I'm
you,
gonna have to try this.
it's good. I swear,
Yeah.
it is good. It is good. Wow, what a week it has been. The Giro concluded in a heartwarming and heartbreaking fashion. A member of the pack filler took to the tarmac. Another raced more than he should have. And another spent 4 days in the dirt planning a party. That's me. That one's me. Welcome to Life on Two Wheels. Welcome to the Pack Filler Cycling Podcast. I'm Pat Bulger, and I finally slept in my own bed last night. No, I'm not getting a divorce. I did it by choice.
Nice.
And I'm also operating cameras, so if everything looks really screwed up on YouTube, it's Jackson's fault. Something's in the water or in the air these days. We've been a member down for the last several shows. It's like we haven't had a full show for 1, 2, 3 weeks now.
And then I think he was in here like one before that. I think it's been like
Yeah.
a month.
I'm your stalwart.
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Ed McMahon. Let's hope this trend ceases to continue, but we soldier on. Let's see who is here, and in case you haven't heard it already. Gentlemen, when I introduce you, please respond with the following. What's the worst job you ever had? The worst job you ever had. They're thinking about it. Okay, first of all, he's the captain of Calf Muscles, Mr. Paul Main. How are you, man?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Do you have a shit job?
Well, I think
He's like,
if you're
"Curly!"
making money, in my opinion, it's okay. But I did not like. I had 2 jobs. I was working at a hotel, and then I worked at a restaurant, and then we had a dishwasher quit, and it took him like weeks.
Yeah,
and
they
I
make
was doing
machines do
dishes,
that now, just like
and I
drummers.
was on my 10th, 11th hour of working straight. I was working 2 8-hour shifts, and it's humid, and it was hot, and it was summertime, and that sucked. That sucked. No ventilation
Oh.
in the pit. Yeah.
Okay. Did you do that for very long?
Well, they finally hired somebody else, so I worked as a bartender and served, and then I worked behind the line at another place, and that's when because I was the newbie, I was demoted from the line down to do dishwasher.
Oh,
and
God.
Came back.
Oh, God. Second off, he's the boss of Butt Muscles, Mr. Sam Waples.
What'd you look at me for?
Because you said before we went on air that I was commenting on your ass at the race this weekend.
He has
I think
no ass.
Sam's got a better
I
ass
love
than
this.
you do.
I
He's got a
love
better
this.
ass than you do.
It's like
Sorry,
the size
David.
of a horse.
Yeah, sorry.
Mine or his?
His.
It is.
Sorry.
It literally goes from his back to his hamstrings. There's nothing there.
Big and long.
He's got like an 80-year-old man back.
It's
a cottage of waddies.
just
True.
because it clearly bothers him so much.
Yeah.
Because you have no back.
I have a better ass.
Yeah.
I have a better ass.
Mom, who's got the better ass?
Mom, look at our asses. Which one do you want to pinch?
Your mom's like, oh my God, what
You're
have I
30.
created?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 30. Sam, worst job you ever had?
Man, 2 come to mind. I'll make it quick. One was a dish job that was
shit.
then rolled into I was at a pizza place back in Bellingham, but it was like I had done serving and everything else. I was just on dish that night. But so I was doing serving, I was doing dishes, and I was making the pizzas because like there was 2 of us.
That's
in
got
staff.
health violation
Oh, it
written
was-
all over it.
I mean, like, I was dying trying to keep up, and the owner of the place just screaming at me the whole time. He was
Oh
a
my
sailor, and so he just like swearing at me in your face, just screaming like you're not fast enough.
the kitchen.
Oh yeah. And so I was just like, at the end of the night, that's the only job I've ever just been like, I'm not going to be back tomorrow. I just walked out. I was like,
You
I'm
did?
done. Yeah.
Good call.
But I think the hardest job is in that same line was I worked at a bee farm out here in
Jesus.
the valley, and in the room where they like cure it, and it's 120 degrees, and this honey, like they stick it in there, and then it would run out and all over the floor, and that's like how they get some of, I can't remember what part of the like excess honey stuff out of these combs before they would make it into wax.
Yeah.
And I was in there for probably like 4 or 5 hours in 120. I was just, and I'm pushing around these huge sleds of, it was
Sludge.
Oh,
It's
and
like
you're
sludge.
slipping.
Yeah.
You're slipping. Wow, that's how many? That is
Minutes
a
in.
crazy pilsner.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway,
When the fuck was this?
You
this
weren't
was
privy?
Nolan and I in high school.
What?
Yeah.
I think he's making it up.
No,
You
that's
weren't
real.
born yet.
Ask Nolan. Yeah, you weren't born yet, child.
He was put into servitude at a young age.
Or Ma was, you're just shitting green.
That's
That's all you were at that time.
Next, I'm just trying to go with the same letter. So he's the master of the mustache, Mr. David Waples.
Yeah, take that, Sam. Your mustache sucked.
Did
Yeah.
you know his wife's never seen his upper lip?
Yep. Never seen it.
That's what he said last week.
No, you've shaved it fully before, and then she was like,
No way. No, since med school, I've gone back and forth. I mean, it's had like less, like maybe a little more stubbly, but never like fully exposed, like whatever you have going on there.
I mentioned last week that my wife apparently doesn't look at my face.
Yeah.
"Really?" Just
I shaved
into your eyes?
I shaved probably 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Nobody knows. It's not even you, Sam.
Yeah, nobody. Wow.
Or no, I
Well,
did.
we already got shamed. He wasn't here, so.
Oh yeah, Sam didn't notice.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, man. Nobody knows what it's like to be the sad man
I get this one too.
behind blue eyes. David, do you have a job that sucked? And please don't say doctor.
No, I like this job.
Okay.
I think I've done a lot of things. I've been dishwasher. I've loved all of my dishwasher jobs. I think the dish pit is a really great place.
Mm-hmm.
You just by yourself, headphones. It's hot and sweaty, but it's kind of like bike riding. It's suffering. I like.
They didn't have
dishwashing.
headphones when I was doing it.
Okay,
Those
fair
are
enough. They didn't have.
You had to
wires
listen
yet.
to the cries of
No,
agony.
We had some cheap, boom box.
And you realized it was your own voice.
Oh,
Dustle tones. My own voice.
well, knowing it was temporary, I enjoyed it. But the worst job was I was a medical scribe. It's something you do to get into med school. You literally work for a doctor, and you have to have a college degree, and you have to be super motivated. And it's very competitive to get the job, and then they pay you $8 an hour to work overnight to write notes for somebody who is paying a company $40 an hour for your time. And so somebody's sitting there making $30 an hour off of your desire to go into medicine. That was the worst job.
Our field is so.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I learned a lot, worked with great people, but it just felt like you're getting used and taken advantage of. So
And you were.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. For $8 an hour.
yeah. So can't wait to have my own scribe someday.
Wow, this is a toxic system.
This is. Here we go. Next, he's the nicest guy who isn't here, so we won't make fun of him, Mr. Jackson Bolger.
Isn't that the truth?
We're going to just kind of tease the story, but we're going to let Jackson tell it when he's back. Jackson took to the tarmac this last week on Thursday night, and I hear it was spectacular. It was almost like he was mildly being abducted by aliens for a second, and then he came back down.
Yeah.
Jackson's got a broken bike. And broken handlebars. Jackson's got a road rash up his entire side. I saw him a lot this weekend, so we'll continue when we get back. So I'm the purveyor of pulse monitors. See how I did that? My worst job was, and you guys are freaking me out because my worst job was a dishwashing gig. I worked at Four Seasons Coffee downtown Spokane. It was a little cafe back before it was just coffee only, and for some reason they just decided to hire creative morons. Morons who were just while I was putting dishes away, they would come into my soapy water sink. And I'm done with this knife, and they'd put the knives into the soapy water.
Yeah.
So I'm reaching my hands into a sink with fucking knives. And it didn't happen once. It happened 30 fucking times. And I was too nice. I used to be nice like Jackson. I used to be. Oh, you guys counting?
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, okay. I used to be nice like Jackson. But I have been just burned over the years. Just by horrible people.
What did you call them? Creative morons?
Yeah.
They're
Because
all
they could do great stuff with food and recipes and cooking and stuff like that, and then they're just la 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 la, boop, knife into the soapy water, and I'd go in and just shink, oh, good God, and it would
The soapy water is just
Yeah.
red at the end of the
Oh
night.
yeah,
I feel like I was so oblivious that I was the one as a dishwasher putting my knives in there, and people would come by and be like, "David, you don't want to do that. That's dangerous."
This is so true to character, right?
And I don't think I ever cut myself, despite my own efforts.
Everybody watching out after Dave.
Yeah.
Why do we keep him safe?
yeah.
I don't know.
Nobody.
You're the one that should have gone down.
Yeah, it should have been me.
Yeah.
Should have been me.
and I'm the one that's jaded and bitter now.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's still time for me.
Yeah,
Someday
your doctor is
You
gonna
can
come
be a
fast.
grumpy
It'll happen
asshole.
quick.
on a podcast.
Accelerated. Hyperspace.
Talk to me about your cycling week in the last 7 days, because I need to live vicariously through you guys. I have not ridden once.
Son of a bitch.
That sucks.
I haven't. And I'll get to the reason why. I can go first, I guess. Yeah. I promoted a bike race this weekend.
How'd
I
that
promoted
go?
a 24-hour mountain bike race. And
It was a blast.
Thank you, man. And a buddy of mine and I took over. Not took over, because the race ran for 20 years. And then we were going to take over the race, but the owners of the race had a higher offer. the higher offer bailed. And then COVID hit. And then what we decided to do is just carry on the race 2 years later. So, I just possibly revealed an ethical bad thing. But
I don't think why is that bad?
Well,
You
that's
picked
what
up
you
a
get.
race
We
that
didn't buy.
disappeared.
We did buy some assets from the previous promoters, and we didn't buy some of the other assets from the previous promoters. But anyway,
There's nothing wrong with that.
we started last year, and it was good, and we had a 25% increase in registrants this year.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
And we tweaked the event a little bit, and it went great. We had a lot of fun. I think a lot of our competitors had a lot of fun. We changed some of the dynamic. We fed our competitors 4 different times over 24 hours in a mountain bike race. We had food trucks that were prepaid for all the athletes. We had a potato feed in the middle of the night. We had a breakfast pancake feed. We had a after race pasta feed.
Was that new? I don't remember that in the past.
We've always had a post-race feed of some
Yeah.
sort. Last
Maybe
year
I
was
just left.
pulled pork. That's
Oh, yeah, I
probably
just
why you
left.
didn't go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Oh yeah, that's why.
it's the shrimp of the land.
Yeah.
What are we getting at here? Come
Yeah.
on, guys.
And our numbers, like I said, numbers were up, and we had some epic conditions and everything like that. But it was a good 24-hour race, and so that was what I've been doing. When I said at the top of the show, this is the first night I've slept in my bed. I went out there on Thursday and drove my RV out there, and then was on the venue setting up stuff and getting stuff ready for 5 days. So I'm really tired and I'm cranky. So you guys need to remove my F-bomb
Oh, let's bump it up.
limit.
2.
You can have 6.
The 5? 6?
5?
Okay.
5, 6.
How many do you normally have?
3.
Yeah, we'll double it. I understand.
Wow.
You
I
better,
get it.
You better
You
get a
don't
hold of your
understand.
mom.
We weren't
Sorry,
even
Mom.
there.
I so
Yeah.
want to drop one right now, but I'm going to save them
Save them, man.
like episodes of a TV show that I
Oh,
want
nice.
to watch.
And then just at the end, you can just Yeah.
So talk to me about what you guys did. Let me live through your eyes. David never actually
did the
got
most,
off
like,
his bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, never. I just did. I did the Wednesday night mountain bike race again, which it was another really fun race. I had horrible GERD afterwards, which means I raced really hard.
GERD?
Yeah, acid reflux.
That's what I've been experiencing my entire life, and I never knew the word for it.
Yeah, probably.
And it,
Gastroesophageal reflux disease. Yeah.
Yeah.
it stands for something. I just wanted it to be GERD.
Oh, it's about how it feels.
That's
It's about
what
how
I say.
it feels. Yeah.
I got the GERDs.
It's just that burning, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're
Well, it
like,
comes up.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, after a hard effort, I get it normally. But so Wednesday night and then Thursday night we did our thing with Jackson.
Yeah.
And then the 24-hour race, that was a freaking blast. I don't know why. That sums it up right there. That was the whole...
Jackson? Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Jackson's on the bottom of that pile.
Yeah. Jackson.
He's probably sitting at home listening to this going, you sons of bitches. I'm going to get you. Anyway, sorry, David.
Anyways, it was a good week. I really like the 24-hour race. I wish Sam would do it. I say that
He's
every
smart.
year. Last year was my bachelor party. He still wouldn't do it. He just sat there and cooked.
Yeah.
It's pretty lame.
Hell's wrong
If
with
Jackson does it, I said this already.
you? Jackson had to announce.
I know.
He announced with me.
It's a good out for me.
Okay, maybe next year.
Yep.
Yeah.
What I can do is I can arrange the fact that Jackson is released a couple times to do laps.
Yeah.
That would make
And he
sense,
can come back with a report. It'd be how cool would it be to get a mic on him where he's out on course and I can make him do some sort of report.
I think
That would
this is
be
a great idea.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Sam will do it.
Then I'll do it.
Hey, Dad, I'm approaching Devil's Down and I'm about to.
I think that's where I broke the spoke and bent the rim. Sorry,
Yeah.
Danielle.
Oh yeah. Do you want to talk
your
about that,
wife's
Rip?
wheel?
Yeah, I was borrowing my wife's wheel because they're nicer than mine, and then in the middle of the night, one of the spokes broke, I found out by the twang, 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 twang.
Twang, twang, twang,
And then he
twang,
kept
twang.
riding
Twang, twang,
through.
twang, twang. Yeah, I was like, that's so weird. When is that going to stop?
When the
Wow.
whistle
This is what I
collapses.
live
Do you
with.
diagnose the same way as a doctor? Wow, I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll stop.
Maybe it'll just stop. Let's just give it some time.
Yeah.
It's my first 3 weeks of AFib.
Yeah, right.
Watchful waiting.
Yeah. Oh, see, there's a term for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you call? I missed the surgical procedure because I had to take a shit.
Did that happen?
No, I'm just trying to throw out terms that the medical profession.
I was like,
It's called constipation.
yeah, something like that.
Constipation.
Yeah.
Dun-dun-dun.
There we
Sorry, I had constipation.
go.
Yeah,
there we go.
go.
There we go. I just
Um,
came up with the term.
yeah.
You're welcome, everybody. Sam, you
Yeah, so my ride week went pretty well. I didn't really. I think, if I'm remembering right, pretty cooked from the weekend before. So I did it off until Thursday. Raced Thursday. After the events of Thursday, I just was like, I'm gonna freaking time trial to the ends, and I just kept trying to break away over and over and over again. And then Friday off. Saturday was a good day. I was running from the rain, and it was on my heels, so I was. And it felt good. I mean, I averaged like 240 watts and just sat there. So it was good. A killer ride then, gravel on Sunday, and then ride with Paul on yesterday, Monday. Yeah, it was awesome.
I don't know if I like you.
Yeah, it's fair.
Paul, talk to me. Now you're all moved in. You are all moved in?
Yeah, but there's still little things that, like we got this
Hole in the
like- Yeah, pretty much. We got, a couple of items that we had to take care of. I spent like $400 on replacing all the light bulbs because people don't understand LED light bulbs. And there's like 1,000 different color on the color scheme.
Sure.
It's just,
Daylight
like, insane.
versus.
It's
yeah,
all in
yeah,
Calvin's. It's based
Whoa.
on Calvin's. So 2,700 is like,
Warm.
yeah, that's
And then
whatever.
5,000
because
is
all
like
that's
that
deceptive
white.
when you do it. If you do it by color spectrum.
Really?
So anyway, I had like 5,000, 4,000, 3,000, 2,700 Calvin's.
Does that
throughout
affect you simply because of your job? It's like.
Well, I think a lot of it is because that was of all the things I did as an electrician. I love dealing with lighting because you can make like woodwork that's really nice look even better if it's lit up in artwork and all that. And that's a part of custom homes where they always seem to like neglect. We just put a can light here.
Yeah.
No, but this. Hey, whoa, careful.
Yeah.
But we could make like do some uplighting, makes the vaulted ceiling look taller, like
Yeah.
a cathedral. I mean, there's all kinds. Lighting's cool.
2,700. That's a sweet spot.
Yeah, that's what I think. It's more that
Yeah, 'cause it's that
orangish
yellowy-
yellow, not like you can see that and that one.
You can
That's
see
like
the
that.
bulbs I
That's
replaced.
about 4,000. Yeah, 3,500, 4,000 right there.
So I bought the wrong bulbs.
yeah, the color is. See, look at the white there. It's,
This is why Jackson always looks so pale.
I'm just glad you're not pointing at me when you're saying look
but
at the white there.
you got a halogen on you.
No, I'm really white.
Yeah, but you look a little orange with that one.
Do I?
Hey, look.
Yeah,
a little
just
bit.
imagine
Yeah.
if you had that one on you.
Yeah, you look
you'd
pretty
look-
white.
Let me tell you, people. I look a little orange.
So my rides, yeah. So I went out by myself on Saturday. I guess I did 7 hills.
Oh,
By myself. Just tried to big ring everything. I rode the big ring the whole time on all that, and just
you
worked
big ringed
on
7 hills.
all of them, yeah. And then
I could have sworn I heard a sound in the distance. Your knees.
Yeah.
But then Sunday, we have an annual thing. My family rides out to the Veterans Memorial Cemetery
cool.
where my dad is buried, and now my little brother.
Yeah.
So we met there and took pictures and hung out and chit-chatted. And
That's cool.
I rode there, and I've been doing that for 7 years.
Yeah.
And then I run off and do the Troika Loop. And then this guy towed me around on Monday. I was thrashed, but I was like,
I mean, understandably, that's I didn't feel that great on Sunday after that loop.
mm-hmm.
That's a tough loop.
And I tried to stay. I was pretty close to 20 miles an hour for
Yeah,
that whole
that's
loop,
not easy.
So I was going to go last when I originally wrote this. and I have to go there. I have to go there. So be prepared because we're gonna rehash the same old topic. No. It's that we had just shy of 500 riders.
Mm-hmm.
Our Thursday night races have just shy of 50 riders. Everybody raced this last weekend on the mountain bike race at their own pace, in their own categories, against friends or against simply themselves. Nobody was dropped. Nobody was pulled for being too far behind. Why do we wonder why certain aspects of the sport are growing and certain aspects of the sport are not? Road has failed to address this unless we talk about Gran Fondos.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
I
right.
didn't think you were going there.
Well, but yet, a Gran Fondo. Okay, so anyway, talk to me about road options that could mimic some of these successful formats. For example, Paul and I are probably the only ones that remember the Australian handicap, which is
you get a
staggered start times.
Yeah.
24-hour road races, a 24-hour circuit race. Heaven forbid time trials.
Shoot me.
Yeah.
Time trial will be fun.
We're leaning. What's scaring me is that the only way that road can dig itself out of a hole is through mega endurance stuff, and we're losing the speed of what road racing is. I mean, we can all agree that a 24-hour mountain bike race is about a diesel engine. It is not about speed. It is not about the aggressive nature that road racing offers. What are we going to do? Where's the magic format? Nobody's come up with it yet.
I will say that a few things. I was out hanging out with David's wife on a gravel ride on Sunday.
What?
Yeah. Because you abandoned her on her birthday weekend.
And broke her wheel.
And you broke her wheel on her birthday weekend.
Can we just keep that down?
You're
she doesn't know yet.
Jerk. You jerk. Okay, anyway.
Wow.
I just had to rub that one in. So anyway, she described it actually really well. And props to you and your event, right? And she was saying she stayed out with you guys, correct? She was saying she wasn't even a part of the event, but she had such a blast, right? So bringing in other people, because sleeping there, you hear noises going on throughout the night, and then you're waking up in the morning, and she's just describing all of the experiences that you have, right? And hearing everybody getting moving in the morning, all of that stuff. It's so much fun. Well, you can have those types of really good, vivid memories with road racing. I have them post nighttime crits, and then we would all go out and get food, and we're caked in sweat, and it's you're just sitting there thrashed, but you're having a beer and some food, and it's I think back and I'm in the time, I was probably God, I need to get out of this chamois.
Oh, I was going to ask if you were still in your chamois.
No, I was not in my chamois. You change, but you're still you haven't showered. You're still
you
all
got Fromunda cheese
cake.
still there.
Yeah, you got.
What did you call it?
Fromunda?
Yeah.
Cheese
Cheese from
underneath
down
you
under?
Fromunda. Yeah.
From,
Oh my god.
It's not good.
It's not good. But
Teeming bacteria sitting there, woo, having a party.
But
Let's make a saddle sore.
I think back on those times, and that was so much fun. And road racing is missing that. And David and I were talking about that on this last Thursday night. Is that we show up and then we leave, right? And it's all done. And I get that that's not really a venue for an after party, but there is a casino there nearby, and maybe we can find a place that there's a patio that we can all roll up and have a beer and then go home. But I think that you can still build that kind of fun cultural stuff that the Fondos are offering with post-ride meals and drinks.
Yeah.
And bring that back into road racing and bring it more into a group thing.
And it's sending a lot of us out into I'll get to that in the topic, but I'm trying to figure out what's going on, what the problem is, and why it's not working.
Well, I think road cycling is a different beast altogether. It's just real. Cycle racing. If you're racing, it's just there isn't time. It's stressful almost from the get go. It's not. It doesn't lend itself to be a party atmosphere when you're on the bike. There's always tensions, and that's just the nature of this beast. I mean, and that's probably why some people don't like racing. It's just like, well, where's the fun in that? But I find fun in it. You know, that's like the thing is, but the afterwards, you know, like we talked about, maybe a venue, or even if it wasn't so like our Thursday night races, if it wasn't so remote from Spokane,
that's where road's gone. It's gone to industrial parks and far off places.
Yeah, but that's just, it's an unfortunate thing, but because it's all a litigious situation, we have to move away, and people, what it costs to. I remember Georgetown. Remember their crit?
It was a good one.
And you know, they stopped doing it because the city was charging them so much to lock down. They weren't making money. They had tons of participants. They could not make money because of all the permitting and the cost, and they made them have so many cops, and they shut them down.
Yeah.
So, and it was a party atmosphere.
Same with Ballard.
And Ballard was the same.
The one in downtown Stumptown.
Derby days.
Derby days. Yeah, those are all because they're in.
And that's still going though.
Nope.
Derby
It's
days is
done.
over. I think.
2019 was last year they announced it.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Won't come back.
R.I.P.
We lost a race this weekend too. Festival of Speed's not happening.
It isn't.
Nope.
What?
Oh.
I heard they pulled the plug on it.
Okay.
Yep. So we don't have a race this weekend.
Wait, that was gonna be this weekend?
Yeah.
It's going to be.
Huh.
Because apparently somebody didn't register.
Oh shit.
Or did register and didn't realize.
That they were gonna not show up.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna show up. I'm not here. But I did register for RC3. Which one of you chumps has done that?
No.
No,
yeah,
not yet.
right.
You got your tux fitting first.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
You
I'm the
can't-
announcer for the crit. I'm already registered.
That's
Ah.
fair.
Got him.
That's
Got
my,
him.
that's my fee.
Yeah.
What's your fee? That's my fee.
I just think people want more, like you offered this weekend with the 24-hour race. They want more than just to suffer.
Yeah.
And
They want an event.
That certainly does draw a bigger crowd.
they
So,
w-
then, you know, if you say, hey, just go out and have fun,
Yeah.
your demographics is going to be all age groups and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Or go out and, you know, ride till you have GERD, you know,
Yeah.
and, you know, for 45 minutes to an hour,
yeah.
and go home and just go, oh, God. You know,
Gert,
yeah.
give me some
So
Dums.
Yeah.
majority of the people are going to pick let's go party for 2 days.
Yeah.
Well, and there are people who are hardcore racing those 24-hour races.
Yeah.
But there are also people who are just like,
But that's like a Fondo.
That's,
Mhm.
I
That's
was
what
gonna,
it is.
I was going to go
That's-
there.
David and I have raced Fondos.
Every-
You have raced a
there-
Fondo.
yeah.
There's always a group in the Fondo racing, and every year at the 24-hour race, to me, the most important lap is the first lap.
Yeah.
That's the race, and then like whoever gets the most after that is that's a good one too. But like to me, that first lap is like I'm there to like to go as fast as I can, or whoever's on our team. Like I want them to come across first, because there's always going to be people racing, whether or not it's a official race. And Grand Fondos, I mean, I've never gone out and like actually just had a jolly
Participated.
What do we have? What do we have against Grand Fondos? What
I have
you
nothing.
guys cringe, but when I mentioned Grand Fondos, there was at least half of the panel that went, "Ugh."
I have a problem with it, and
What?
the problem is
Cookies?
you pay more than you would on a road
The
race.
cost, yeah.
The cost is astronomical, and they
Yeah.
don't, you know, they
And the
provide
roads aren't
pit
closed.
stops, and they have Costco muffins
Yeah.
and some Coke, and people like that. That's fine. But it's like, holy cow! I paid $200
Yeah.
to go 120 miles, and there's a party at the end.
Yeah.
It's
How
like,
did,
what
how
the-
did you do like a
justify that?
24-hour? Like I think with the team, I paid $100, like $99, 5 meals, like you said. It's a 24-hour event, supported. Like that's value. But Grand Fondos are not like
I
that's
would
the
love
issue.
to let you know if we made any money. We haven't figured that out
I'll let
yet.
you know.
We
Okay,
haven't
so
figured
maybe
that out yet.
maybe you didn't charge enough.
We didn't. We're not. But we're not in the red. We're not in the red.
Well, that's
we,
good.
We at the very least we paid all of our bills.
Yeah.
Last year it was funny. Both my co-race director and myself walked away from it. We paid all the people we needed to pay, including a lot of our support staff. And he and I both just walked away and went, "All right then."
See you next year.
Yeah.
Who gets the penny?
What are you doing? What are you? Let's just keep the rest in the account for tax purposes, and that was it. So and so anyway, but It's a tough one, and I understand that promoters want to put on races to make money. I also think that fondos, maybe you create a category in fondos where you sign up for something and your number plate indicates you don't get to stop at food stops and you pay less of an entry fee.
Do you stop at when you've done fondos?
I have never stopped at a single food stop in a fondo.
I only stopped once, and that was because I was
Actually, no,
cramping.
I stopped at one. I stopped at one in the Chafe.
I'm only gonna do a fondo if it's a big one. Like all the ones that I've only really done two is Chafe and Ephrata. And both those you need refueling.
I didn't stop at anything in Ephrata.
That's insane to me.
Mind you, I crossed the line, a shell of my former self.
Your kidneys were raisins.
Yeah.
Your urine was bright red.
You're still peeing out, some of the
Wait, that's not normal?
kidney stones.
Yeah. So it was bad.
Did it
But
burn when you peed?
I didn't pee. That's the problem.
Oh, okay. So no.
This
When
is
you
what
did,
his
it was
pee-
brown.
This is what
Yeah.
his pee looked like.
Actually, it was.
much
When I
more like that.
when I
Yeah.
went into the urinal, I was like, okay, let's get rid of this, and I went.
And dust.
Dust.
That's it.
Golden dust goes flying out.
All right, let's move on. Let's catch up with the Giro. In case you missed it, as I did, the 2023 Giro d'Italia was decided on Saturday, not on Sunday, on Saturday. And I got to thank Paul for his play-by-play text, which I was very grateful to get. 18.6 kilometer time trial. Saw the top spot switch between Primož Roglic and Geraint Thomas. Okay, I was waiting to see if there were any emotional responses. Leading to a promenade stage 21 that capped off with 3 weeks with a win by the one and only Mark Cavendish, which I am going to say had a lot of help. Mm-hmm. There were a lot of people that wanted Mark to win that stage. So someone saw the TT. Please recap. I think Paul's probably our best one.
Yeah,
You guys just
agreed.
watch highlights? David
I watched it, but he's way better at this.
Yeah.
It started off, actually, Americans had, for the longest time, had
Sepp
five
Kuss.
guys.
Yeah.
Five
Brandon
guys in the top
McNulty.
15.
Yeah.
And I think it ended up being like 4 guys.
Yeah.
So, Brandon McNulty, what's
Sepp Kuss.
Sepp Kuss.
There are a couple other guys that I got to admit that names pop up, and it's like going, that's an American?
That's what I
Yeah. So they shine great, and that was always fun to watch. But Barra. Mm-hmm. But anyway, the time started getting faster and faster, and when the top three launched, Almeida did a pretty good job. He was burning it up.
Yeah.
And then they had problems with the splits, and I noticed something, and I text you. The bike change was the strangest thing, because some people changed their helmets and some didn't. They went from a TT to
Mid-course.
Yeah.
It was right at the bottom of the hill, but there's like another 500 meters before it hits the climb.
Did they have it taped off, or this
Yep,
is okay?
you
it
couldn't
looked like-
exchange. It was
Yeah.
like
There,
like you
there.
do
Yeah,
if you ever ran a track with
Yeah,
relay.
that's- okay.
It's the same thing. And so some teams actually practice it. Geraint Thomas changed his helmet and lost a bit of time on that. But Roglic just went off, and he chose some gravel gears because there was some 18%, climb, and
Yeah.
the surface was terrible. I mean, it was
He
like
spent a couple days doing that one-by setup.
I think he was testing
with
it out in the
Dinner
mountains.
plate on the
Yeah.
back.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he actually used that when he dropped his chain.
Yeah.
So he had one by, and it was like a 40-44 or something. It was like maybe it was even 44-44. I can't remember, but hit a pothole, threw the chain off because of the pothole through the.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, oh my god, because he had only a few seconds ahead of Thomas, and Thomas, we weren't getting any splits, and he had a skin suit, and he was like, he had salt built up on the back of his legs, and his skin suit was wide open. The guy was suffering from the heat, and Roglic was all zipped up with Aero helmet. So anyway, before that, after the bike change, I was going to say, I texted you and I said, Roglic is doing puppy paws. On his road bike, and I'm like, must be legal. I don't know if that's going to come up.
Is it legal when
didn't-
you're
it
by
didn't pay
yourself?
attention
Maybe
to
It is legal. So, have you ever watched or listened to Flamme Rouge, the podcast?
Yeah.
So, Benji, who's Danish, or not Dutch. He actually looked up the rule and says, yeah, in this situation, you can do that.
Okay.
It's not a group race, so you can do that.
So it's okay.
It was okay. So I thought he was in trouble then. He dropped the chain. I thought I really wanted Garay personally to win.
I think several of us
Yeah,
did.
but I didn't want Roglic to lose with the mechanical, and I was like, But
I think that it was. When we were recanting this yesterday, I think it was a win-win. Either one of those people winning,
Yeah.
as long as it wasn't like by 2 seconds. Which, like, once again, we talked about this too. Like, G or Geraint Thomas is just like, I love that guy. I have liked him since his Domestique days with Brad Wiggins, right? Like, he is just an outstanding stand-up dude.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about, he goes, well, at least he didn't take it only by like 3 or 4 seconds. He properly bashed me in.
Yeah.
You know, it's like he's joking about it like 2 minutes after losing the Maya Rosa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did everybody keep track of their points?
No.
Okay.
No, I had too many.
How are your math skills? Because
I
we
had
can
too
speed
many.
through this.
Yeah,
we can
okay.
speed through this. All right. So the original bet was, and I'm only doing this mainly because we have listeners, and we all agreed that there was a punishment on the line.
Okay, I definitely wasn't here for this.
Well, you're in.
I didn't pick anybody.
And
You're fucked.
Yeah.
So David loses.
There's a loser.
there we go. Was it a malt
I'm used
liquor or
to
was it
punishment.
the
It's
beer
malt
bottle?
liquor.
It was malt liquor. It was.
Yep, he has to shotgun it.
I'm used to this.
Well, I just went through for the people who, of my guys, 1, 2, 3 of
Hey.
my picks were gone because of COVID or sickness or something.
You know what? That's it's like I tell students when they're auditioning: never start with an apology.
No, I know that,
or an excuse. You're
but
making an excuse.
but I've got the winner, and I got
No,
a winner
that's-
versus sprinter.
Anyway, okay.
That's
anyway, okay. So I'm going to go through the stages, and who did you, David? Who did you pick? Just so I know.
For what? For
He did not write it
overall?
down. He just
He
circled
I
circled
it.
just
lot of
circled
names.
He's got
Roglic,
Geraint.
Remco, and yeah, I picked Thomas.
So he picked 3 riders. You're so.
I thought we were
screwed.
picking overall.
We picked 3 overall. We picked 2 sprinters. We picked an outsider, and we picked an opportunist.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think I was here, you guys. I think I was
we
gone.
we
for
might
this.
be
Listen back.
kind of nice, but I think he should do the punishment
Yep.
with the punishment.
Yep, I agree.
So,
That's what happens when you miss.
Stage 1 was Remco, Ghana, Almeida. Stage and
So, but-
3
sorry,
points.
points. 5 for first, 3 for second, 2 for third on a stage. 5, 3, and 2. I'm only saying this quickly.
So, but these
because I
are
already
the
know.
like opportunists then, or
So
because like my
anybody-
overall
anybody.
Oh, okay.
Anybody, any of the
Okay.
names you
Any-
picked.
yeah.
Okay.
5, 3, and 2. Stage 2, I can honestly write off because it was nobody we picked. Stage 3, Michael Matthews, Pedersen, and Groves. Stage 4 was nobody we picked because I know that because I listened. Stage 5 was Groves, Milan, and Pedersen. I'm saying Pedersen because I didn't know if anybody picked Pedersen.
Did you?
I did not. Stage 6, Pedersen, Milan, and Ackerman. Stage 7 was again nobody we picked. Stage 8, Healy, G. Is it G or G?
G.
G. And Zana. Stage 9, Remco.
Wait, G.
Yeah, the Israel
It's-
Premier Tick guy who was
Derek G.
all over the place. What a
was
freaking
all over.
ride that guy had. What an amazing Giro. I hope there's a bidding war for that dude.
Yeah, there will be.
Stage 9, Remco, Geraint Thomas, Theo Gegenhardt. Now, you still get points for him, even though they didn't finish the race. So, you know, it might not be a bad bid. Stage 10,
Wait, who got third?
Gegenhardt.
Wait, so if I pick 2 of those,
Yeah. You get points for both
Yeah.
riders.
okay.
Yeah.
So 5 for first.
5 for first.
second.
Yeah, 5 3 2.
2 for
5 3
third.
2.
Stage 10, Court, Guy. Is it Guy or G? I
G.
know I said that
G.
already.
G. It's
G.
G.
Okay. And DeMarchi. Stage 11. The people are doing this at home, hopefully. Ackerman, Milan, Cavendish. Stage 12, nobody we picked. Sorry if at home, you're going to have to figure that out on your own. Stage 13, Rubio, Pino, Cepeda. Stage 14, Dens, Guy, Bettiol. It's G, isn't it? G. Fuck. Oh, there's my second F word. G. Stage 15, McNulty, Healy, Frigo. 16, Almeida, Thomas, and Roglic. I'm sure everybody got points on that one. 17.
Wait, those
I have the camera on the wrong person. What?
What were the last ones?
Almeida, Thomas, Roglic.
Top 3.
I need to see stage 1 again. I didn't know the rules.
Oh my God. They'll let anybody be a doctor.
I
won't they?
know, I know.
It's just like, you know,
It's
it's just
embarrassing.
As long as
Handing
you do,
them out like-
as you do your time as a scribe.
handing them out like candy at freaking Halloween, man. Here, you get a PhD. You get a PhD.
It's not a PhD. That's
What is it?
a MD or DO.
Oh.
Yeah. PhD
Doctor of Medicine.
PhD is like a college professor or something.
Well, I always considered it because they called them doctors.
That's true. It's confusing.
Yeah. 17, Dainese, Milan, Matthews. Stage 18, Zana, Pino, Barguil. Stage 19, if somebody tuned into this show halfway through, they'd think I'm having a stroke just saying random words.
This would be great.
it's some sort of code. Q. I'm Q. It's 19, Buitrago, G, and Court. Stage 20, Roglic, Thomas, Almeida. Stage 21, Cavendish, Kirsch, Fiorelli. Now, before you finish and start adding up your numbers, we also included final jerseys. So final jerseys, I wish it went 3 deep because I would crush all your souls. Final jerseys were $20, 20 points for pink, 15 points for sprinter, and 15 points for climber.
And the sprinter was who won the Chiclamine.
Yeah.
Who's my
So
climber?
who won that?
I don't have it. Oh, I do have it written down. Milan.
Nope. None of us got that one.
So since I chose, I mean, because like 1, 2, and 3, like it just has to be. Is that how I structure?
I'm going to have to explain this all night, aren't I?
No, it's good. I got it. I got a lot of points. I won.
You got a lot of points?
Who won the climbing?
Pino.
Pinot.
G got second.
Noir?
G got second in both the sprint jersey and the KOM jersey. That guy, somebody's got to pay for that Canadian, man. He's unbelievable. So, does anybody want to fess up their points?
43.
Whoa. You guys just went right into it. Paul, you have 46.
46.
David?
I'm assuming I lost, so 43.
43. Sam?
I did this wrong because there's no way I'm way ahead of that. I mean, because I'm saying that overall I got Primos on my list,
So you
and
got
I
20
sprinter.
points.
I have Mark on my list, but then like the opportunist was I thought what the climber was.
No.
Well, that doesn't matter.
like-
If you have their names, you
You
get the
guys
points.
get 9
You get the
people and I
points.
have 3. I
The
did pretty
people
good.
that
You did
pick,
pretty good.
Yeah.
based
So-
on the stage result, you get that points.
Yeah,
Right, but
So
then
any of the
overall-
names you picked, yeah. If
So-
Thibaut
Underneath my
Pinot,
sprinter category, I have Mark Cavendish on there.
Yeah, so
So I would get
Mark,
20?
Mark got no.
you would
no.
you'd get no. Mark Cavendish
Mark,
didn't win the
he
jersey.
won 5, and then he got second one. So
Oh
7
my
points
God, I
for-
need beer.
Oh wow.
Okay, Sam automatically loses.
Yeah,
he doesn't know
I
how to play.
lost.
That's because he used to drink.
Do you know your
that
total
private
points?
reserve 211.
Yeah, made you
garbage.
Let me add this up.
dumb. Do you know your total points?
No.
Okay.
What
just
where
wait.
you at?
Could somebody help me out here,
What
please?
do you want?
Pervy pills?
No, the pail. I will say this right now, and I don't know what Jackson has. Jackson's going to tally his point. And I love the fact that David is a pervert when he drinks the pervy pills because I got 69 points.
That's my mom's favorite number. That's what she always says.
That's so wrong, David.
Mom said it. Mom said that's her favorite number.
Did you say why? There's got to be an explanation.
No, I didn't ask why.
Hey, stop right there, Mom. I don't want to hear anymore.
Yeah.
what is the opportunist category then?
It doesn't matter what categories. You just picked riders. So
I know,
every
but
one of your riders.
we had a climber category there that you could
Yeah,
have gotten 20
for
points
example,
for.
my opportunist was Thibaut Pinot, and Thibaut Pinot won the climbers jersey,
Well,
so I got the points for the climbers
Then
jersey.
I got 87.
You lie.
No.
That's you guys do the math on this.
Mother.
You add mine
All
up.
right.
I feel like I did pretty good for only having 3 riders.
I think that I did get 87.
This is a time podcast.
But that being said, I guess here's my last question on this.
all I'm saying is I just want to win something
I don't think you did.
in my life.
Because if I had 2 people, if I got a first and a second, I
Who'd
get
you
5
pick?
and 3 points, right? Yeah, so it's
I
I got
this
it right.
light.
I got 87 points.
I won this light.
Jay Mike didn't do anything. Scratchy didn't do anything.
Mark
Paul's
Cavendish.
looking at this, and I love that this is an audio podcast and we're just spending time in silence.
Nothing.
Let me
Who's
find
this?
some nice background.
Michael Matthews.
Oh, he did have some points.
Yeah.
He
Philip
had
Ghana won in the first one. What are you talking about?
second.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I
so
got
you got
points
some
there.
points.
I'm telling you, I got 87 points.
you did.
I did my math right. So
Yeah,
unless
but
Jackson
how many
beat
bonus points do you get for 69 points? 20?
I
me, at
should.
minimum. At minimum.
Which would make it so that Pat won.
I should win for 69 points.
Yep.
You really got 80 some points?
I am
All right.
very confident.
I'm upset about it. I am because I haven't won any of these damn things. But that does
I
mean,
crushed with my
wait,
choices.
Paul, technically, are you?
Look at that Teo
are you-
Gagenhardt on there.
What's that?
Are technically you trailing?
46. He's got 43.
Okay, so 43. You're gonna have to drink a malt liquor.
Shotgun.
Shotgun.
Tall boy.
I saw 211 in the store the other day.
Yeah, one of
That's
those
the one.
tall ones. That's what
Yeah.
you're drinking.
That's the one.
Shotgun.
Okay.
Yep. Next show.
And then you have to run a mile.
Can I drink the pills instead?
No. It's a punishment.
It's so good.
It's not supposed to be enjoyable.
I only had 3 riders. I
Oh, that's your own fault.
I feel like
Just
Paul
make him
won
have
here.
a-
He had 6 more riders and only got 3 more points.
Make him have it like a can of wine. You ever seen those cans of wine?
That'd be good. Yeah, I could do that.
Hey, let's get to tonight's topic, brought to us by our friends at Perry Street Brewing, 1025 South Perry in Spokane, South Perry District, Perry Street District. Oops, not South Perry. Is it South Perry?
It's South Perry.
South
Because Perry goes, yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant beer, brilliant food, and they don't throw I haven't seen the ramen burrito anymore, but that's
Don't
a
tell
shame.
me it went away again.
Yeah, you weren't here, so you wouldn't know. Kind of like the 24-hour race.
Yeah, I want to take a quick moment, and this is kind of going to put the brakes on stuff, and mention something that happened this past weekend. A local cyclist and triathlete in our community was killed while riding. He was struck by a truck, and reports are it was a semi truck. It was a very large truck. He was out in the middle of nowhere. He had kids. He had a life. It was his in-laws' 50th wedding anniversary that day, and he didn't come home. All because of what we were hearing from initial reports is a careless act by someone behind the wheel. And I'm not accusing the driver because we're in a fortunate situation. We might never know the truth because when you've got 2 individuals involved in a situation like this and one of them doesn't make it back, you've got the report of one person. And the event occurs without witnesses. That's where we are. And again, I'm not accusing this driver. I don't know who's at fault, but regardless of who's at fault, somebody didn't come home to his kids. And we as cyclists understand that we are taking risks on road, off road, even in the gravel. We also can likely agree that incidents of cars versus bikes are on the rise. David, you have first-person experience with this, and if it's okay, we might even touch on that. Distracted driving, lack of empathy, and pure moments of rage are flat out killing us. So to begin, what?
So I can do a score.
Oh,
Yeah.
to begin, I want to start with a quick toast to this writer. I'm not going to mention his name because I don't know if his family wants all that released yet. But a toast to this writer and a short moment of silence for the loss of one of our own. shit. Now let's talk about readdressing and reassessing the issue of cars versus bikes. Oh, wait, before we do.
Where's my other
quit breaking
No.
news.
Where's my other 20? That I got the
Let's
Hill
just say,
Climber as Thibaut Pinot, and I got the overall.
Quick breaking news from our news desk. We have some very important things we need to bring up, and at this very important moment, Sam's full of shit. 78 points, not the 80 some you said earlier. You
I'm
still
two
won,
of these.
you lying sack of shit.
Two of these pervy pills in, okay? Numbers get weird.
They talk to me.
You know what? Whatever.
He's like Russell Crowe in A Beautiful Mind. He just like sees the numbers moving all around. I can interpret codes. Yes, there's a man in a black coat talking to me that doesn't exist. Oh my God. Okay, so you still won.
Yeah. Well,
unless Jackson comes in.
Which he
and we
will.
had some listeners chime in too that participated, but I don't think there was anybody that high in numbers. I thought it was 69.
No.
I had it wrapped up, but apparently
I'll
I
never
don't.
look at that number the same again.
You won't.
No.
Just
Thanks,
because
David.
Yeah.
Neither will I. I didn't
I don't
ask for
care
this.
about
you
you.
ruined the image of my mother.
Yeah.
No, the number.
The
Number.
number.
Mom's favorite number. Why?
You ruined both things there.
Talk to me about and again, David, it's up to you whether you want to rehash this about, and anybody else can go about close moments you had, like holy shit, I shouldn't be alive anymore. Does anybody have? I know we've all had them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'll jump in first just because I find myself being so defensive out there just because, I mean, I have the most to lose in a car versus bike, right? Yeah. So it's one of those things that I'm always just like, I don't run stop signs or stop lights or any of that stuff. And I'm not blaming anybody that gets hit that it's their fault. I'm just saying that, like, you have to be so aware. I've been hit by a car, and yeah, I know a lot of people that have.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunately becoming more and more common with distracted drivers and just like people being impatient. You know, it's like we got buzzed this last weekend. Somebody came by really close in the middle of nowhere and laying on the horn and comes, I mean, closer than they really should have to Paul. Why? Like, they're just either trying to get, you know, like us riled up or just be plain up dickheads.
I want to comment on that, but I want to also hear if, you know, any of you guys, I mean, we've all had them. You know, I remember once a guy came so close to me, he was pulling a boat, that the curve of the hull of the boat hit my helmet.
Insane.
Bonk. You know, and I was a junior. I was probably 15 years old.
Yeah.
Out on a ride by myself. And a guy cut me so close that I hit my head on his boat.
It's a close call.
Yeah. Yeah. David, you had a...
I've had two very different experiences. The first time in college that I had a run-in with a car was my fault. 100% my fault. There was two cars coming from behind. I saw the first one, not the second. When the first one passed, I started to turn out on a highway. Fortunately, saw the car coming, and they saw me in time to where we kind of started to merge or part pathways, and I just bounced off the side and off into the ditch and was fine.
Yeah.
But I was terrified after that because I was like, man, I always thought that the one thing that would keep me safe out here was like me being alert. And there's that one moment where you let your guard down and wham, and it's not even their fault.
Yeah.
And then recently, as people have heard, there was somebody who I used to take comfort in the fact that I didn't think people wanted to hurt you on the road. Like, people would buzz you like they did to you guys. I don't know if the guy with the boat meant to hurt you or not, but like, I always feel like people just want to be a dick, and that's fine. It's not going to ruin my day. And then to have somebody go out of their way to not just be a dick, but to try to hurt you by hitting you with their car on purpose, it was the complete opposite of what happened the first time, and it's terrifying. I don't know how you're supposed to find the same peace on the road when you know there's people out there. I mean, you could mess up at any point, and we're all capable of it. And then you could just cross paths with the wrong person at the wrong time of the day, and they've been through something and want to hurt somebody.
Is there a lack of? I mean, I don't want you to go into the full legal details of your situation, but last check, there were very little to no repercussions for this person.
Yeah, beyond partial restitution, in my opinion, I don't think community service is an appropriate repercussion for using your car intentionally to hurt somebody.
Am I going out of the way by saying this is in essence attempted murder?
I mean, that's what it feels like an assault. It feels like
vehicular homicide.
I mean, it was an assault.
Yeah.
Somebody used their car on purpose to try to hurt somebody, and the fact that in our county, the Spokane County Prosecutor's Office will not prosecute essentially an accident of this nature without video evidence. What are you supposed to do, especially with what happened this last weekend? We don't have video evidence, and we don't have testimony.
Yeah.
And in this case, they had the testimony of myself, Sam's wife, and one of our really good friends who's a bicycle rep in the state. And you have 3 reputable people willing to testify, and they won't take it to trial. There's
a healthcare provider, a professional in the field of what they were doing.
Yeah.
Like, that is such a loaded case, and the fact that somebody like that gets off. Like, we've talked about this. It's mind-bending. Like, why do we have to defend ourselves against somebody trying to hurt us?
Yeah.
Like, why do I have to strap cameras on myself
the
to
question
prove
is
that somebody tried to hurt me, if that's the case?
And unfortunately, the question is always like, well, why did they do that? What did you do first?
Yeah.
And I don't think people get it. It's oftentimes absolutely nothing.
Unprovoked.
Unprovoked.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they were there at first.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I think on that, I think there's a sense of an attitude, probably more so than distracted drivers. To me, my experience, where we don't belong on the road as cyclists.
Yeah.
And that is not, in the state of Washington, we have all the rights, and we have to abide by all the rules. That means speeding down Hatch at 45 miles an hour, you can get a speeding ticket.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten 2 tickets by running a stop sign
Yeah.
on a bike.
And you
So,
paid them
I paid
because
them,
you broke
yeah.
the law and you understand
Exactly
the
right.
magnitude of breaking.
But in the state of Washington, there's I bet you if you asked every driver, anybody with a driver's license, I bet you would less than 10% know the actual rules of a bicycle. What rights do they have on the road?
I also bet there are several police officers.
And then I can
in the
guarantee
same
you,
boat.
and I shared a story about our friend Bork and I were out on a ride, and a cop says, you can't ride, in a double face line. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, well, he goes, no, you can't. And it's like,
It's
no,
in the RCW.
Yeah, it is an RCW, and they added another one where we can come to a rolling stop at a stop sign now.
Yeah, that
You
just
know.
passed a couple of years
Yeah.
ago. Yeah.
But most people don't think. They think that, first of all, we don't have the right to be on the road. Yes, legally we do, and we can be as far. We're supposed to be as far to the right of the road that we deem safe. Now
Yeah.
that's ambiguous. I mean, it's like everybody's
Yeah.
like whatever. Well, I don't like riding where there's glass, and there's always glass, that
Yeah.
type of thing. So I'm maybe a foot or 2 off from the white stripe, or maybe on the white stripe, and we can ride 2 abreast at that level.
Yeah.
And that's when we got buzzed. We were 2 abreast. The guy probably thought, those stupid idiots, where
Taking up the whole road.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we weren't. We
Not at
weren't.
all.
We're just 2 abreast. He was on the white line. I was just to the left of him. So I think lack of law, the understanding of the rights of the cyclist, is a massive, massive problem. And like you said, Pat, it's like, I don't know how many cops don't even know the rule.
Like,
Yeah.
more training, and like, it's been so long since I had to do driver's ed, but God, does that need to be like a bigger section in there?
That's what I'm thinking. It's here we are. We're sitting in a world where most people are finding out their own versions of the law because they want to spew it on social media via the internet, and yet there is no common base to understand. There's no method of getting this information out to people so they understand that yes, cyclists can ride 2 by each, and they can also that was an Eddie B joke, but they can also go for a bike ride and try to get home to their wives and children alive. The fact that you're being I've been slowed down before. I've been angry behind the wheel before. And I guarantee it probably happened within the last, what time did I drive home today? It has. Mm-hmm. But at no point in time have I ever thought about physically hurting somebody because of the fact that I'm being slowed by 28 seconds on my drive to get cigarettes and a newspaper, like some of these fuckheads are. Mm-hmm. There's 3. And I can't grasp the fact that somebody can be able to operate a vehicle and
it's a lethal weapon.
It is. Yes, I understand that. And also on top of that, I wanted to ask you guys about the responsibilities we have as cyclists. Jax is not here, but he is one of the most hypersensitive people about saying car back that I've noticed. He's constantly saying that, and we as a group tend to go single file, out, single file, out, single file, out, single file. Yeah. We don't legally have to.
Mm-mm. In fact, it's safer if we stay.
It is safer, yeah.
So that it's a shorter line for them to pass,
and because they have to pass, they can't eke by while cars are coming the other way. Just like if a car was in front of you. If you're driving and a car's in front of you and you want to get by, you have to wait until the other lane is clear to pass.
Right.
But they think because we're single bikes that they can just ski by and clip our heads with a boat that they're towing. I know we're not going to come to any solutions here. There's no way. This is probably an exercise in futility. But what steps can our society take to try and help people understand that? I've heard the comment, you don't pay taxes. It's like, dude, I have 3 cars at home
in my driveway.
Yeah,
that I drive
and an RV.
rarely.
Yeah, I have 2 cars and an RV, and you don't understand that. Yes, I pay taxes. It's just not. I'm not in my car right now. You dumb son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm. So it's mentioned sales tax on an expensive bike.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we know that, is there going to be is there a way to get knowledge to people into their brain? Can we come up with a whole conspiracy theory that Q rides his bike? I don't know. It's just
I think it. I don't know what it'll take, but I think just educating drivers and also cyclists don't. I think the majority of the cyclists don't know the rules either.
Yeah,
and that needs to come to the forefront, and however that's done and presented, it should be done. And we're in a world, and even our state, who's trying to cut back, CO emissions and stuff with going with EV and stuff. Well, to me, if you look at the rest of the world, they're opening up more cycling. Now, Germany's got a highway for just bikes.
Yeah.
And you look at what Denmark's done, and Holland especially, or Netherlands, I should say. Those countries are forward thinking. If you want to cut back your emissions, that's where we want to go. I mean, we're still charging a car in some parts of this country. They're using coal still to generate power. So we're not. Let's start building an infrastructure and educating people about the rules.
Yeah.
Is that possible?
I do think so. That's why I try and I'm gonna shamelessly plug here too. Ambassador cycling, right? Like, be an ambassador of the sport, and I think that's important. Like, when I'm out on group rides, maybe people perceive me as being a dick for calling people out and saying like, do not do that. I mean, I've literally grabbed people by the scruff and just been like, you just put everyone at risk, right? And so I think that it has to happen both ways, but I do think that you can have a good conversation about it. I have patients that I talked about, like, oh God, cyclists are just in the way on the road. I'm like, we try not to be.
So are other cars, you dumb prick.
Exactly. God. And so it's one of those things, but I try to take a pretty calm tone to it in the sense of I understand that maybe you may feel like you're put out, but we're trying to this is our recreational activity. It's just like you choose to go fishing, and I don't blow a blowhorn when you're fishing because that wouldn't be kind to you, right? Like, be nice.
David, he said blow. There we go.
The Pervy pills is working. Spare no one.
It hits different.
I'm the only one not drinking it, so I'm just be like, I'm the one getting mad.
Yeah.
I personally think that there needs to be more punishment, because we
does.
just over and over again. I mean, last
They can
month
have another chance.
somebody got killed in Airway Heights by somebody who had killed a cyclist a few years prior.
You know what her sentence was? 11 months.
Yeah,
After she killed a cyclist.
How are you supposed to take that seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's pathetic.
Yep.
Is what it comes down to. You can kill a cyclist and the punishment is pathetic. So,
And it's not regionally based. It's not the fact that we live in, let's say a specific political climate. It's not because we live in a metropolitan area. It is happening everywhere. You're hearing of people, rolling coal and smashing their brakes and cyclists plowing into the back and people dying. You're hearing about major metropolitan situations where it's happening. And we don't need to escape to these outer roads. This person who was killed this weekend was out on 4 Mounts, which is out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Except it's where Paul grew up. But
nowhere.
Yeah. So and
where nobody lives.
Do we associate it with the lack of punishment, the growth? Do we associate the growth with lack of punishment? Do we associate it with just pure us versus them based rage situations? Do we associate it with distraction? What's the culprit for our growth in these type of moments happening?
I think it's a combination of all of that. Mm-hmm. But when it comes down to it, you're in Lycra and a styrofoam helmet, and unless there's some sort of external force trying to protect you, which comes from legislation and punishment, unfortunately, because that's the only thing people will listen to, or training with driver's ed, mm-hmm. then there's, we can only do so much
mm-hmm.
when you're riding around in Lycra and a styrofoam helmet.
Yeah.
So that's my personal opinion, is that unless we change driver's ed or make it so that somebody thinks twice about it.
Yeah. I don't want to hit the cyclist because I don't want to go to jail for several years.
This could be expensive.
Well, CP and I had an incident. We were out training. It was in a March. Oh, years ago. And, hey, boys.
Hey, you boys.
Back when the world was overall a few degrees cooler.
Yeah, we had friction shifting, rim brakes. It was beautiful.
It was awesome.
But we were out in this Cheney area, and we came in and we stopped off at the store to get a power pie, which is a hostess pie.
Pie.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we're click, click, click going through the store. And we pass this guy, locals talking, and this guy says to his buddy, he stops in the conversation. He says, "See those guys?" He goes, "I hate cyclists. I hit one. My biggest mistake, I didn't kill him."
Mm-hmm.
And we were just like,
those
what?
are the things that make me see black.
Yeah, and of course, CP just he lit the flame.
Yeah.
I just ignored him, and we got in line, and he was actually in front of us in the line. This guy's chatting up the checker, talking about, Lawrence wasn't here. What was he doing? He's on Saturdays, and all of a sudden, when he was done, he says, "I hate you cyclists." And CP says, "That's funny. I hate fat people," like that. I blew snot out of my nose. But then he goes, "I should have killed that cyclist. I'd be a lot happier right now," and walked off. You're not going to change that attitude.
No.
That for whatever reason, you can throw whatever you want. If there's going to be a very small portion, but there's somebody out there.
Yeah.
You got to take them out of the equation.
And if you engage that man, that just fuels his rage.
Yeah,
even
exactly.
more.
Now he hate it. He hates you.
Now
more.
he hates you even more. I don't know about you guys, but I've had actual relatives send me memes of that they think is funny of people being hit by cars and stuff like that, thinking that it's a joke. And how do you approach these people? How do you start to say, "Hey, you do know that my circle of people who my 6 degrees of separation is getting closer and closer of people who I know who have been killed by being struck by cars."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you think it's fucking funny? There's 4. I don't.
You're gonna run out.
I am. I don't get it. And I don't want to make this a super depressing podcast, but this is obviously something that is it's not going away. If anything, it's getting worse.
Yeah. When we rode out to SCR, the local race here a couple weeks ago with this guy named Brett, local rider. He had a run-in with the car too recently, and the guy was just like screaming at him, just so upset. And I remember Brett saying, he's like, I mean, this guy clearly had no issues with like if I was dead or alive. But he's like, he was trying to talk to this guy, be like, hey, look, I understand that you don't care about my life. I understand that. You are very clear with that point. But the consequences for you are pretty bad if I die here right now. Yeah. And like, I mean, once again, it's back to the like consequences piece, right? It's like, how do you talk to someone with reason? You can't. Like, there has to be some kind of punishment for this, which is what's such a bummer about like seeing the system firsthand. Yeah. There was no consequence.
Do we all have to camera up now? That's running 24/7 for our entire ride. You know, it's not 24/7, but the camera that starts when we pedal.
But here's the problem.
We know somebody has a camera.
Yeah, I have a camera. I have 5 cameras.
No, I'm talking about on his rides.
Yeah,
Roger.
Yeah, drink. Yeah,
but because he had that same thing.
Here's the problem though. What good does it do when you're killed and it gets them 11 months?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you had it on camera. Cool. Yeah. What's the point?
Well, you get 11 months. You're not,
Yeah, it's 11 months you couldn't hit somebody else, but what's the point when that's all that comes of it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like a misdemeanor.
Especially with your incident, the guy had malice. It was very obvious.
Yep. Yeah.
Very obvious. And that's the part that's really... Accidents do happen. If somebody... There's an incident here on a Tuesday night race back in the days, and Cooper Jones, and it was just a simple time trial, and it was a innocent
kid.
Yeah, he was
13, 14, 15.
Yeah, just getting into cycling.
Yeah.
And it was just an elderly couple driving, but the problem was the sun was in their eyes. It's in the evening. They're on the road.
On the shoulder.
Yeah, they
were driving on the shoulder. It was a time trial, so I
thought she swerved over.
Yeah.
And hit. Yeah. He was on the shoulder, but she ended up, because of the blinding light, the road kind of veered to the left, and she went straight and then ran over him and killed him. So the state created a law called the Cooper Jones law. Yeah.
That's because his parents
pushed
who are friends of mine. Yeah.
But it's been watered down since that point.
Yeah.
And it was my understanding is a stronger punishment for these type of situations, but what happens is it starts up here. The first person who gets, indicted for this and penalized for it, and then it's like, well, wait a minute, this situation's hit pretty soon. We got 11 months from somebody getting hit by a car, pedestrian or a cyclist.
We also need to quit using the word accident.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because this is not accidental.
I would say that older couple was an accident.
Yeah.
What happened to you? Absolutely not, because he has a record of people reporting this gentleman doing the same thing over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Have you guys ever seen the online video of the? I think it's obviously not in America, but where they have drivers of buses who are on a stationary, they have to ride a stationary bike. Is it in Colombia? Yeah. They have to ride a stationary bike, and a bus comes by them super close. And you see these drivers on a stationary bike just go, holy shit! And it scares the hell out of them. What a great teaching tool.
That's a great idea. During driver's ed.
Yeah. It's just like, this is what happens when you come this close to these people.
That's why you need to be a meter from the cyclists when you go around them.
I mean, they don't understand, like, flat tires, anything in the road, like, and we have to, like, divert and like that. I mean, it's the same thing like what happened in the freaking race, right? Like, cross of wheels and poof. Like, we could be in the middle of the road. If they don't have enough room, there is now an accident.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't think people truly want to kill somebody either. Like, even that guy you're talking about at the gas station.
You don't? Or do you think he was just doing it to show
'Cause
his
he's
tiny
pissed.
dick was a couple
yeah.
seconds longer?
Yeah, I think
Couple
he's just trying to get
milliseconds
under your
longer.
skin.
And I'm
I
saying
don't.
time measurements because I'm upset and I'm filled with rage.
Yeah, even the guy that was talking to Brett saying, "I don't give a fuck about you and your friends, whether they're alive or dead."
Mhm.
I don't think that people mean that. They're just
the
they're just
moment.
and they
Mhm.
think they're like making a point. But I don't think they do. I don't think anybody can truly kill somebody and not. I mean, there are people out there, but I can tell you from there's a diagnosis for that.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
very rare, and I don't think these people really want to kill anybody. They just don't. It's like a pride thing in that moment. They don't want to look weak to a cyclist. The guy at the gas station, he probably just wanted to get under everybody's skin.
Yeah.
And they don't think about it.
Yeah.
So
People.
People.
There's sometimes I catch myself actually. I think I've said it out loud a couple times when, like, I'm at the grocery store and people are standing in the center of the aisle just talking and yada yada yada. And I've actually caught myself at times going, "Other people." I'm such a dickhead. I'm gonna be on the
Especially
lawn.
at grocery stores.
It's only a matter of time before I'm on the lawn with my socks on, yelling at kids to get
With
off.
your hose and a little sprayer.
Yeah, exactly. Socks and Berkey
That is
socks.
for sure your retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I speaking of grocery stores, when I retire, I will spend all my day grocery shopping. I will go to every store in town to buy specific things. Like, oh, this store has the best meat. This store has the best produce. This store has the... What do you want for dinner tonight? That's what I'm going to do.
that
So
sounds
dinner
amazing.
at your house?
What?
Dinner at your house?
Every
Every
night
Friday?
after I retire. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah,
Speaking of the
but
so-
if you see him in the store, he's going to dodge you.
I don't dodge you. I just focused. And I'm angry, apparently, because I'm not looking at people, who are in my way. So we've got both Waples here, so we have segments dedicated to both Waples. I hope that both Waples are ready. So we're going to start with best. Quick tips
that's
with
so
Bike
good.
Fit Sam.
That
Brought
is
to us
so
by
good.
Ambassador.
That is so good.
Brought
And
to
you know
us.
what?
I'm just
I
trying to
know-
stir the pot.
I know the moment you say best. It's just like we were at the bike race. We were signing up, and this person asked me name, and I go, Sam Waples. The older of the two Waples. Also better looking. Also taller. Also faster. And I just kept going, and she just like looks up from the paper. She goes,
You guys have problems.
yeah. Anyway.
Brought to us by Ambassador Cycling. AmbassadorCycling.com.
Yes, thank you. So Paul and I were talking about this, and we can have a whole topic on it later. But like related to writing questions about pains and aches, because we were talking about back pain on the bike, and my back will still get like tight, and my bike fit is dialed. Like on my road bike, it is.
One would hope.
Yeah, I know.
But you can't.
Oh, I
how
have
do you
messed it up
diagnose
before.
yourself, though?
Oh,
That's
I
gotta
have
be
a-
hard.
Yeah, I've had a bike fit many
Okay,
times.
yeah.
But yeah, stretches like PT and stuff is a really big part of, and we all just like hang up our bike when we're done with the ride. Maybe we're really good and grab a recovery drink, but like who in this room stretches after a ride?
Beer.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nope, I
Yep.
don't. And
So-
my shoulders are still fucked up
Yes.
because I said, "Oh, there was 5."
Yeah.
My shoulders are still screwed up
You only
because
have one more.
I do. Because I don't.
You don't do that. You just get off the
yeah.
bike and you're still stuck like this.
Yeah.
Sam
Sam
told me to do these
exercises, so I did them for 2 weeks, and it didn't work, so I stopped.
What a phony.
Well, it worked for the first week,
Yeah.
and I wasn't too consistent.
Then
on the
I thought it
second,
was fixed.
and then it wasn't. Doing
It was
so well, and
fixed,
then
right?
It just started going to crap, so I quit.
It's like my AFib. I stopped taking the pills because it was fixed.
yeah.
But like
That was a joke.
just having a very simple like stretching program after you get off, and I think back on like I laugh because it's like all these like soccer stretches that I did as a kid.
Yeah.
Like for hip flexors
Yeah.
and everything, hamstrings, all that. And so I do that every time, and I feel awesome like when I get off the bike. But so I'll put together a little like kind of stretching routine to post ride. It takes like 5 minutes.
Really?
It's so fast. If you just walk in the door and just do it, you're done. Then jump in the shower, and move on with your day.
This reminds me of
5 minutes.
Or do it in the shower. That'd be
Or in the
interesting.
shower.
Your,
That's
your
fine.
spouse walks into the bathroom and she's
What
like,
the hell?
"What are you?"
Called downward dog.
Yeah, yeah.
This reminds
It's for my psoas.
Drink it in, honey.
This reminds me of Christmas like 6 years ago. We all went to Tailwind to work out. My little brother.
This is Christmas?
Christmas. It was everybody was home. We like walked 3 blocks over and we're working out like on the day of
Pre-meal.
Yeah,
Right.
We wanted to get like a workout in, like a
guys
lifting workout.
Somebody has the keys to the place.
Yeah.
Well, I still have a problem. It's like Christmas morning, everybody's together. Hey, everybody.
Well, we did.
Let's go sweat.
Yeah. And like Ben and I, our little
God
brother,
damn.
we're
Have
like,
a whiskey and make fun of the in-laws.
well, first if you get a sweat in, then you can,
Eat
it
more.
goes better. Yeah.
Drink more.
Okay.
So Ben and I are over there just like we're going as hard as we can. Just like I think we were doing bench and back squat, all these big muscle group exercises. And I'm obviously not much of a bench press guy, but I'm trying. And then we look over and Sam's over there with like his 15-pound weight, just doing these little small movements, trying to get every little tiny muscle, trying to make sure that there's no imbalances anywhere. And he's like stretching and doing all these like lifting things with his. It was so pathetic.
He's not far off.
Yeah.
Really?
We have a video of it somewhere because
David?
Kenzie did this like scroll of it.
David?
Yeah.
He's got a better ass than you, though.
Oh, fuck off. We need to post video or photos. Let's do photos.
Yeah, let's
Ass contest.
Bare naked.
But it's got to be a blind
one.
a blind taste test.
I will.
It's got
Yeah, I'll
I just
stand on
said
a
taste test.
stool
No.
so that our
Do a pack filler
in
ass.
the cycling shorts. In cycling shorts, we don't
okay.
want to get flagged, but in cycling shorts, we just take a picture of both of your asses and we say, "Pick the butt."
Okay. Yeah, let's do
Or
it.
it could be a challenge for all pack fillers.
There we
Yeah.
go.
I got a bubble butt.
Oh, this is
Not
fun.
like
Let's
his
do
horse
this.
ass.
You like his ass?
No, his is big.
Oh.
I mean, it's
Are you-
long.
His is.
It goes.
Sam's got back. Sam's got back.
All right. Well,
They're counting my haunches as the top of my glutes.
Yeah. His love handles. Wife on top.
What was
Love
the line
handles.
that Jackson loves so much about love handles?
Oh, that's something to grab onto.
I like something to grab onto.
is that what he says? All right.
That's when Jackson lost it.
Jackson lost it in the show. He just went, "I'm done."
Oh my god.
Speaking of which, let's go. Let's switch from one to the other. Let's go to Ask Dr. David. And I did have and this is kind of interesting that it actually comes at the same time that Jackson should be here.
Oh.
But and we open this up to the panel first. Approaches to caring for road rash. I'm sure everybody has a specific method in which you care for road rash. Are you in pro Neosporin? Are you anti Neosporin? Do you oh God, when the bandage is dry and it sticks to the skin.
Can I get one of those?
Do we get to respond? What we
Yeah.
did?
I want to
Okay.
know what everybody's philosophy in caring for road rash is. Wow, I just spit across the bar. Mine personally is for the first couple days I am Mr. Neosporin. I use Neosporin and I use bandages, but then I just kind of quit. And this is going to sound really terrible because I don't care about this. I scab up and I sometimes like picking at them.
That's a
kind of
keeper.
it is. I'm just like going.
That's a keeper.
All this stuff to keep my. It's bring me the skin box. I'm peeling. Save me from myself.
Oh, that's good.
So I'm a flake. I care for it for about 36 hours and then I just let it go.
Yeah. I'm really good about the loofah or whatever is like super abrasive. I get in the shower with some Dr. Bronner soap and I am just like,
You're a bad boy,
oh
Sam.
God, just like
Waffles, take the punishment.
Safety word. Waffles. Waffles.
because he's like, what are you doing? Fine. But anyway, really like deep clean it, and then I like Tegaderm. Yeah, big fan of Tegaderm.
What is Tegaderm? For me, who doesn't know.
Yeah, Dave will be able to go more into it.
Oh,
but
is it the
just
netting?
that clear stuff that you put over it, and it just traps in all that. So if it's clean, then you're not going to have any of the bacteria growing in there. But that's what I do, and it heals up real fast.
That first night after a
That's
crash
worse.
is always the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Sheets stick to you. And all that. Paul, what's
That's
your
the first thing
what's
I do
your
is
process?
if I'm gonna sleep in my bed, I change the sheets. because I get an old pair of sheets that I have.
Get the shitty ones.
We'll get the crappy ones.
Get the shop towels.
I get a soft toothbrush, the soft bristle, and I go in deep and I dig. And I dig deep. I scrub and I scrub. And and I used to
No, yours is not bad. Paul's
I used to get like betadine like in the quart jar. Betadine and Silverdine when I got the burns.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
Yeah, so that's I would scrub, and then I'd have with betadine you have that orange skin, brown skin stuff from all the yeah. But that's because I get infections pretty easy.
Yeah.
That take a long time to heal. So
My
I have
body
to make
language
sure I'm
is
totally
saying
clean.
a lot right now. I'm just cowering up. I can't change the camera.
I kind of thought I was tough there. You should have led. I wouldn't have said anything.
Well, the
Soft
worst one is
toothbrush.
I actually
The next
got
morning, your wife's going, "Why does my toothpaste taste shitty?
It's like your teeth
Like
are all
salty.
yellow. And
Yeah, my
turn away,
toothpaste
I'm
is
hideous.
salty." Paul?
Well, I had
Hi,
one
hon.
crash, and the problem is, it was a crash. The first stage was actually as weird. It was it Missoula? I can't even remember. Maybe anywhere. A teammate swept my wheel, and I did a Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my whole right side. I couldn't find a soft bristle. All I could find is
my God.
is a medium, and so that was painful. Yeah, but because it was chip seal and there's dirt. I was removing
this
wire brush they
use to clean out files.
Yeah, it's not fun. It's where you're sweating and you're thinking I'm gonna pass out,
Wow.
but I have to do that. Betadine's my friend.
You are.
You guys are
Tough old
lunatics.
dog.
I just leave it as is.
just don't
I mean,
like it.
I will shower. I'll use
Yeah.
soap, but that's it. I don't dig.
Oh yeah, I'm in there, but
Right,
not
you
like
guys are
a
apparently
toothbrush.
Yeah. David, please set the record
I don't know.
as close to straight as you can.
I mean, there's what I do and what I would do for somebody like in the ER.
Yeah.
'Cause those
There's
are
two different things. Yeah.
What I do for myself is my wife has this like exfoliating thing. Is like it spins. It's a brush. And
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I just take that with some soap, and because you want to clean it really good. You want to get it all out. Soap and water. You don't need anything fancy. You guys might be doing it a little too much, but
Thank
like
you.
whatever. I don't know.
I was a bad boy. I
Yeah,
deserved it.
you were bad.
Yes, mistress.
My God.
And then I used
I'm
to,
a dirty boy.
Dirty bone. I'll clean you.
I'm a dirty boy who fell off his bike.
Oh my god!
Clean me, mistress.
Did you even have the pills?
What pills?
The
Pilsner.
pervy pills.
Pervy
Yeah.
pills.
No. I thought you meant like PILS.
Pervy pail.
PILS. No, I'm just normally a
Oh, this is just
a
you.
perv.
100%. Yeah.
that's right.
deranged moron.
Well, either way, after you've got it good and clean, really all you need is Vaseline. You don't need. There's some
Neosporin.
evidence that Neosporin and all those antimicrobial creams can actually delay things.
Oh wow.
So as long as it's good and clean, just Neosporin or like Aquaphor or Vaseline, and then keep it covered. And you want to find a balance between keeping it covered and moist with the Aquaphor moist, and I just thought I'd get that out there. But not, you don't want it to dry up. This is like ideal wound healing. I used to use Tegaderm. The problem is it doesn't breathe at all, and you get these huge fluid pockets under there, and I don't.
But that's fun to pop.
Yeah, and then but I always found myself like letting it then let it dry out a little bit, and then put another one a bit on top,
You
and
rip
like.
it right up.
But just like some non-stick gauze and Vaseline is probably the way to go, and that's actually not far off from what I would do for people. I would clean it out probably with normal saline, numb them up, and then I would send them out with like just Vaseline, not an antibiotic cream. And then you save like Bactroban or something for when there's signs of a superficial infection. But the whole idea that you should prevent it is kind of like you should prevent it by washing it out, not with antibiotics. So yeah, don't let it. You're not supposed to let it dry out. I usually just let it scab up personally.
Okay, thank
Because
you.
it's a lot
Yeah,
more fun.
I mean,
It is a lot more fun.
And then
It
you
gives you
pick
something to
some.
do.
Yeah, and then it gets infected from like I got these ones from the crash with the guy on my hands. The hand sanitizer it took like 3 or 4 months to heal because every
kept
day I was
scrubbing?
just, yeah, and I don't know, and
Reopen
scrub your
it,
hands
reopen it,
and the
reopen
hand
it, reopen
sanitizer like it kills all the good stuff. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
I do have a very personal question when it comes to this. You know the webbing stuff that the pro cyclists have to hold their bandages on. It looks like kind of like a white fishnet kind of stocking. Where do you get that?
Just at like CVS, I'm
Can
pretty
you,
sure.
No,
Yeah,
they
Walgreens.
don't sell it at the normal stores. I've never been able to see it. It's always, and I always thought it looked cool when
In
you
the
crash.
ER stockroom.
Really? That's what I'm saying.
That's
Can
where I
you
find
can you
it.
score me some?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
because it looks cool.
You can get stem cells too.
Really?
Yeah, it's like $1,000 an application, but yeah.
Stem cells.
Really,
and
you can't find that stuff at
stool.
Walgreens?
No.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I also
Stool
just always
transplant.
use
Yeah.
like a compression
Stool
sleeve
transplant.
or something like that.
Yeah, but I want the cool looking fishnet stuff. It's like, it's just like cyclist.
You just gotta go to the right. I don't know. I feel like Rite Aid's gotta have it.
Yeah,
You're wrong.
Okay.
I'll find it.
All right.
You're wrong.
We'll get you some.
Buy 1,000
don't
feet
crash.
of it for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. Well, I won't crash. That's the goal. Is
Yeah.
to not crash. And even though Jackson did. Okay, thank you for that. You guys, we got to finish off with the final question. And it is a very important question because we're at episode 383. And our agreement was, and now mind you, we're doing a show a week, and I might throw in some interviews in here, so it might get closer. But at episode 400, we're doing the beer mile, the beer 4 mile.
Let's go.
4 miles?
4 miles on a trainer.
Oh. Okay.
Because at the beginning of every mile,
It's a race, right?
you drink a
Beat
full
you
beer.
So bad.
Paul's already, his body language alone speaks volumes. Just the
I'm
arms
ready for it.
crossed, the slow nodding. the-
I've already set the plan.
You serious?
Yeah,
okay, I
I've-
thought you were going to deny it.
No. I'll do that.
This is so
you
weird.
put me on some goofy cross the country
Yeah.
camp deal. Fucking
What
shit.
would be your beverage of choice right now if you had to do the beer 4 mile?
Does Bud Zero count?
No.
No, it's got to. Well,
Or
yeah,
the
it's
Pilsner,
for-
the Czech Pilsner, or a Kolsch.
so-
Yeah, I think it
It has to be
sponsors
something
beer.
light.
Sponsored beer.
Yeah,
Yep.
a sponsors beer.
Yeah.
The Kolsch.
So
Perry
should
Street
we
Kolsch.
all have to do the same beer?
I think
Yeah.
so.
I think so.
Yeah.
I would even drink IPA for that if it
No,
came
no.
down.
No, please don't.
You would do it?
Yeah.
No.
And then I'd
Holy
throw up
shit.
all over
Well,
everybody else.
my next part of the question was going to be: shall we expect vomiting?
I don't think
Not
so.
from me.
Not
No,
from
I'm
me.
a seasoned
Come
veteran.
on.
He's heard some of my stories about
Yeah,
drinking.
that's 4 beers.
There's a lot of stories.
4 beers, 4 miles.
Yeah, it's easy.
Now, I have a question on this.
Yes.
So how are we going to do this? On Zwift?
No, I say we just. Well, yeah.
So
it
we
might
got to
be
have something to clock it.
to measure our distances.
Now, there is an old
Can't be on the
sponsor.
road.
There's an old sponsor that has one of those courses and it's pretty flat. Wahoo has
Yeah.
where you can do a free one, and it's God, I can't remember what it starts with. It
It's
starts
a
with
4
G.
mile loop.
It's a actually I think it might be, but it's flat as a pancake. There's a couple like little
yeah.
lifts, but
So-
that's a free one. It used when through the winter it was. So we could
What I'm
probably do
saying
that.
is, I'm willing to that's give or take 12 to 13 weeks from now. So that's 2 to 3 months. So that is a long way. I say we do it sooner, but that would I would find a way to not only accommodate the space but make it so we all had access to some sort of a digital medium that we could measure our distances. But I would hope that you do it on something that we have a good old fashioned computer on your bars, but that's a front wheel sensor type of a thing. So that's a hard one to figure out.
it's a logistic part.
Yeah. So there we go.
I say let's just line us up on a trainer.
Yeah,
Okay.
but we need to measure distances. So who goes the farthest?
Yeah, I know.
So one trainer set up and then take turns, or all of a sudden.
Oh.
No, all of us at the same time. I got
Okay.
I have 4 of the same trainers.
Yeah,
So we all have to be on the same trainer. And we're all plugged into that.
side by side by side by side.
Side by side by side by side.
5.
You hop
Jackson
off when you're
doesn't.
done with your mile.
Jackson's saying he's not going to do it,
Yeah.
but he's doing it.
He is doing
Oh,
it.
yeah,
You
he's doing it.
hop off,
Yeah.
and then you.
We have to
Trainer.
hop. I think we should have.
We should have
table
a table.
next to us.
No, we should have a table away. So you have to
Everybody
go
has
clup,
to run
clup,
to
clup,
it,
clup,
yeah.
clup, 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 pound the beer, clup, 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 clup,
No,
clup.
I'm
Yep.
getting off the bike. I'm going to lose.
Yeah.
Running in cycling
Yeah,
shoes
yeah.
will hurt your shins. Just saying.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 or 4 steps tops is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Just
I agree.
And,
That's what I
and we
think.
need it. Well, if Jackson's just going to say no, he has to make sure those beers are topped off, because we're gonna pound them down. We
Well,
shouldn't
then
have
he
to
has
fill
to
it
do
up.
something.
he
Well, he
can't
could
just
actually-
be
he
a
could do-
monitor. He
he
can't
could-
be a hall monitor.
Well, he could make the
Lame.
call. Let him make the call. And it looks like, Paul's gonna toss one. Technicolor yawns for miles. Something like that.
Yeah.
know.
Oh, Jackson, just come on, man.
Do it.
Although he doesn't really drink much beer.
That's
Although
fine.
he's starting
You could
to.
do ciders.
Yeah, he
whatever,
can do ciders.
whatever.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
double the
his-
alcohol.
It's
Yeah.
his
yeah.
decision.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
That'll fix him up.
I've got kombucha.
Yeah.
He can
Alcoholic
chug.
kombucha.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's 6%. He's
Oh.
spooked.
Yeah, he'd be in
Yeah,
trouble.
we need something lower.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there we go. So the seeds have been planted, and it's going to happen in episode before, maybe even during. Maybe episode 400 will just be a video live stream of us doing this stupidity to ourselves, and it's going to happen outside, and it's going to be 3 months from now. So it's going to happen outside, and because there's no effing way, I am going to allow you guys to vomit in my house.
Yeah, that's a good.
Better
that's
get a
good
bucket
decision.
of better throw up.
Mr. Creosote over there. So there we go. And if anybody wants to play along at home, liability is completely released. You're an idiot. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. There we go. Thank you, everybody. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jackson, heal up that side, and we can't wait to hear the story. Everybody like, subscribe, follow, tell a friend, and we will catch y'all next week.
Yep.
There we go. Dolphine next week.
Yeah.